Alrighty, it's time, everyone. Oh crap, where's my phone? I don't have my phone on me. Give me a second. It's probably on the bed where I usually put it. Oh, fuck. I stood up and it's in my pocket. So absent-minded today. Oh boy. Everyone come in. Make yourselves comfortable. Put on some tunes. Sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this ride we call life. Watch me talk about everything that I did and didn't do during the month of June. Oh boy. Art, a gaming, anime. Probably gonna hear me humming to some of my own stuff. I'm gonna try not to because I know that you guys are probably also doing your own stuff, but I cannot help it. Like, what is he humming to? I can't hear it. Running late, I see. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I had a lot more to set up than I thought I was going to. Just a little bit. It's all good now. We're all alive. We are live, and we are alive, which are two pretty good things, I would say. Okay. And how is we're gonna be starting the live stream here soon, folks. Everyone ready? Everyone sat down and prepared for the utter bullshit that's going to be spewing from my mouth. Corey, I know. I was just discussing this because I saw your post about it in the one chat, and I am a little bit late, just a little bit. But it's fine. It's not like really we're gonna do a whole lot today. I'm just gonna talk about stuff, and we're gonna see what we did this month, what we didn't do, what we can improve on, all that fun stuff. Your pay is deducted for the day. I get paid? This is news to me, dude. Oh my god. All right. So I'm gonna start it up. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Today we are going to be talking about quite a lot of stuff that we have done throughout the month of June. So I like to do this little series at the end of every month where I kind of look back at the things that were done this month and just talk about maybe some of the stuff I did off camera that I usually don't get to show my audience. And also maybe what I can possibly do in the future, because sometimes I like to take these things and be like, okay, what didn't I do, and what could I do in the future that maybe improve upon that. So we're going to see how well that all goes today. Everyone, welcome Translator Kun. He will do his best to translate all of my stuff to Japanese people. Corey in the sports shirt. What universe am I in? This is a Saiyan sports shirt. I got this from Box Lunch. Very cool merch store that sells geeky stuff like that. I have another one of these in Sonic, but I've already worn that before on stream. So I wanted to wear this one out today though because I recently just got this fit. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, starting with gaming, and I'm excited to get into it. So let's get right into it. Like if you don't have any or if you have some music to play in the background, I would implore you to do so, because it's just going to be me in the silence for the live stream. But I am listening to my own stuff as we speak. So here we go. Okay, so this is my Backloggery. For those who don't know, this is where I catalog all of my games that I play. I have updated this thing quite a lot recently. We're going to be going through all the updates that I did recently on for this month. But first, I'm going to be going through my now playing, so and discussing all the games I'm actually playing through it. I curated this a little bit recently, so everything should be pretty recent. That's a relief. I was afraid we are going to have a rip in the space time continuum. Yeah, no, I only wear the sports stuff because I like the geeky stuff it says on them. I have a Sonic sports shirt that has like the Green Hill Zone Gang or whatever on it too. They're kind of neat little things to wear. But I like wearing them in moderation. It's very strange. It's not what I'm used to wearing. I'm used to wearing t-shirts or button ups. But well, this is technically a button up, but this is more of a jersey. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the first game, which I oh yeah, by the way, how you guys like my new cursor? I just recently updated this one as well too. I like to try to change it up every now and then. So it has Sora on it as well too, as well as the Keyblade stuff. So the first game we have in our list is Persona 5: The Phantom X. This is a game that came out not too long ago, actually. This is basically the Android Persona 5, and I am enjoying it quite a lot. I like the Splatoon one better. I like the Splatoon one a lot too, but like I said, I like to try new things every now and then, so this is what we're doing. But yeah, this is basically Persona 5, but if it was a mobile game, and it has a new story and new cast of characters from the original game. I do actually, I'm enjoying my time with it so far. I haven't really gotten too far into it. I'm only on the first palace. I know people have probably gone a little bit farther than me then at this point. I'm just slow at playing it because I try to play it in my spare time whenever I can. But I got some pretty good stuff so far. I pulled on. So that was pretty cool for me, and I am looking forward to seeing what the rest of this stuff is like. I'm pretty hooked on the story and the characters so far. It's going to be a game that I'm probably going to be playing off and on for a little while, at least until I get further into it. But this is probably definitely going to be one that I'm going to be playing throughout the month of July as well too. I imagine it would take up your entire phone data considering how long the game is. That's true. Yeah, I think it does take up a considerable amount of space. It's not really too big, I think, though. But I think it will only get bigger when they add more events and more updates to it. So, looking forward to that. I think I already got rid of a lot of the other games on my phone that I wasn't playing, though. So, it doesn't really matter to me too much, at least. But yeah, this has definitely been the one phone game I've been playing recently. It's very much Persona 5, but if it was on a mobile device. So I like that. Code Vein I've been playing recently with Ben. We've been doing like a co-op run through it, where I'm playing my character as Zuka, Um, it's going interesting so far. It is kind of like an anime Dark Souls type of experience. Um, I'm not very well versed in the Dark Souls types of games, but it's nice going through it with someone else at least. It's all about blood and stuff like that, so there's all that kind of stuff going on with it. Uh, but yeah, the gameplay's fine. Um, I like the build I'm going with it so far. I'm usually mainly using Hunter. Sometimes I use Assassin, which is also nice too. Uh, I mainly use the bayonet. It's probably my favorite weapon in the game. I've at least beaten 3 bosses in it. I know that. So we're getting through more of it though. So it's kind of something that we just play every now and then whenever we can get on to play it. Um, the story is interesting. It's all right so far, but I'm kind of mostly in it for to see how well I beat all the bosses with Ben. So far, it's going pretty well though. It's not too bad though. I think I might like the Dark Souls games a little bit more than Code Vein, but this is a good entry. I feel like to the Souls-like genre. Uh, Wagatabi, I'm still playing this every now and then whenever I can. Um, I have gotten to Seiki's test as I have written here. um, so I haven't really gotten too far into it, but I like to try to make some progress with this now. I'm trying to do a thing now where I do at least one Japanese lesson every day, one every night before I go to bed, from Duolingo, and then in between somewhere throughout the day, I do this. I do an extensive lesson from either, and it's either like Wagatabi or Learn Japanese to Survive, or Sashingo or any of those kind of games. Basically, I do like a bit more of an extensive lesson so I can kind of cram in the Japanese language into my brain a little bit more. I'm gonna try to do that a little bit more daily. Hopefully, this next month. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good habit that forms on me. So far, I think it's working pretty well. I'm getting through it a lot more. I'm learning a lot more stuff. It's going pretty well, I think. Hopefully we can actually get through more of Wagatabi because I actually do want to get to the end of the game. I want to see what it's like. All right. I did also this month did get a Switch 2. I was gonna do a lot of stuff for my art, but a lot of it was put to the side after acquiring the Switch 2, and I just played a bunch of games on it. And one of those games was Tears of the Kingdom. When I went to go revisit it for the upgraded pack of it. Um, the upgraded pack isn't a bad addition to it. It's definitely got some cool stuff to it. It's got like lore bits that it added to the game. It's got like the daily bonus with that companion app that it goes with it. All of the stuff in the game looks and runs a lot better. Looks really nice actually. Um, I am trying to just get through more of it as I can. It's I still think it's one of the best Nintendo Switch games out there. Especially for people who like open world RPGs or adventure games like that. It's I've already beaten the main game of it way back in the day, but now I'm just going through all the side content with the new edition. It's pretty good though. I like what I'm going through of it so far. Its playstyling looks a lot better than they used to. That's why we don't have Danny. Another reason to hate Nintendo. And that's fine. I'll definitely work more on art. I have a plan going into this next month for my art. Hopefully, um, I'll actually just say it here because I'm talking about it now. But I'm trying to plan to try to do at least an hour's worth of drawing every day if I can try to help it. If I miss a day, then I'll just add it on to the next day until I catch up. But I'm hoping if I do at least an hour's worth of drawing, then I'll at least get some progress done for a lot of the stuff that I've been meaning to do. Because I have a lot of projects I have been backed up on. Um, and as you'll see later in this, I don't have a lot of art to show for this month. So I would like to change that for July. So fingers crossed for that. So now we're going to go on to the next game, which is Super Dimension. I am technically now playing this tomorrow because I'm going to be starting it up. It says beaten because I back in the day I actually did play this on my own. This is one of the few Neptunia games I played on my own off stream before I made the Nintendo or the Neptunia series that I have for it so far. So I remember beating this game way back in the day. I don't remember a whole lot about it though, and I remembered playing it with the English voices. So it'll still be a cool and interesting experience to go back through it again with the Japanese cast and to kind of just revisit what I might not have done in it because I remember doing some stuff in it, but I don't remember a whole lot about it to be fair. So either way, it's going to be a fun experience to do on stream. I'm definitely looking forward to making that the one of the main games I do throughout July. So let's we're gonna have some fun with it, I think. All right, Ghost of Tsushima. It says I've played. I did technically play it at one point before, but that was like way back in the day. I only played through the first act because I needed to play up till that point to unlock the multiplayer, and Ben wanted to do multiplayer with me, so I was doing that for a good while before we stopped doing that. But I do actually want to pick this game back up again because I've heard it's really good, and I'm kind of hyped for Ghost of Yote, so I want to get into that before I get into the new one. So, and plus it's all about old world Japanese culture, so what's not to love about that, you know? I get to play off of the world as a samurai, so I will see what that's like. That's probably going to be one of the main games I play in the background now on my own, if I can try to help it. Um, we'll see if I get a little bit more progress in that maybe throughout this next week. I'm hoping to at least. That would be kind of nice. Bringing out the PS4 just for this game, I see. Well, it's originally a PS4 game, but I am playing it on my PS5 because that is what I use to play all of my PlayStation games now. It was the same way with Persona 5 Royal. It was originally a PS4 game, but I played it on my PS5. So it's just how the backwards compatibility for it works. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going through it though. All right. Deltarune is a game I've been playing pretty recently on the channel again. We did chapter 1 and 2 way back in the day when they were first unveiled. They just recently unleashed chapter 3 when we did when we earlier this month. And chapter 4 will be coming soon, hopefully. I would like to try to finish up Deltarune. Hopefully, I think on Thursday. I think is when I'm going to try to find the slot to play it on. Probably earlier on in the day, I think. Sometime afternoon. It's kind of when I plan to. Hopefully, we can actually deliver on that. I would like to get through more chapter 4. I'm pretty hooked on Deltarune, to be fair. I've always loved these RPG series, these like indie pixel RPG kind of stuff. This one's been really good too. I definitely enjoy the characters. I enjoy the humor that Toby Fox has done for these kind of things, and I am curious to see where it all goes. The story is also kind of neat too. I like the idea of how the Dark World works compared to the regular world. Some good character growth and good character development so far. I like it. Very, very good. Very, very good. Um, Sonic Boom, the Shower Crystal. As you can see, I still have not touched it. Hopefully, I will actually find some time to start it up this month if I can help it. I mainly just wanted to have this as a general reminder to play this on my 2DS because I have it as my main game to play on there, and I wanted to get through it for a little while, so I'll eventually get through it. By the way, you might hear fireworks in the background. Everyone is celebrating it over here apparently. They like to do that. I think my mic might pick them up. I'm not sure if you'll hear it though. I definitely hear them though. I can at least tell you that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually trying it out. I heard like mid things about it, but I do want to see what it's like at least. I think I feel like this game is at least a little bit better than Rise of Lyric was, hopefully, from what I've heard. So either way, I will probably, if I can help it, try to find some way to play all the games on channel because that would be fun. That's the only one I'm not sure how I would play on the channel though because it's a 3DS game, or the other ones too, for that matter. Those will have to come in for like way later. I see your neighbors are celebrating America Day earlier this year. Yeah, they like to do that. I noticed they do that. They just set up their own fireworks. It's just I don't know. It is what it is. Osu I still play every now and then. I actually haven't played it too much this past month, but I do like to kind of like put it as a general thing on my Backloggery, to just kind of boot it up every now and then, play a few levels. It's still a good game to play. It's still one of my favorite rhythm games, so I like just playing it every now and then, just to kind of remind myself why I like it. We did play a little bit of Night Rain, this past month, I think. Not too much because my friends have been busy doing other stuff a lot, but we still play Night Rain every now and then. I still have not beaten the first expedition. I still would like to. Um, but it is what it is. I might even just be able to do it on my own at some point, but I like playing it with my friends more, so it's more so something I just play with them instead. Actually, to be fair, this probably should be ongoing instead. I'm gonna set it as ongoing instead, or technically pause, but I'm gonna put it as ongoing just for the sake of it right now. Does Night Rain still crash for you? Um, it did one time. I'm not sure why, to be fair. But I can tell you for sure it does run a lot better than it used to before the SSD was installed. The SSD has been just an overall improvement for all of my games on my computer. It's just been a net positive for even just for regular things I do on my computer, because even if I'm not playing games on here, everything boots up and loads a lot quicker. So it's just very nice to have. So it's not like I regret getting it, but it's still it still sometimes does it. I'm not sure why it did the crash the last time I played it, but I haven't had many chances to try it since then. I still really kind of, if I can help it, I still prefer to play a lot of my modern games on either the Switch 2 or the PS5 now, because they actually run really really well. But this is still a good machine for what games I do play on it. All right, Withering Waves. I do play this every now and then. I haven't gotten too far in the story of it. Mainly what I've been doing with it now is just every now and then I get on, do my dailies, um, see what events are going on. But I do need to actually go through at some point, sit down with this game, and then make some progress in the story, or at least in in the overworld, because there's a lot of stuff that the game is telling me, hey, you can go and do all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I just need to go to the area where it is first. So just give me a little bit on that. But I enjoy it though. It's a good open world gotcha RPG. I I'm more so probably this is so more, probably more so a game that I'm not going to be playing as much as P5X, because I'm just going to be playing that a lot more. But this is still good to boot up every now and for at least to do the dailies. It's an enjoyable game at least. I did play some good amount of Splatoon 3 this these last couple of months. I don't remember if I did it last month or this one, but I did beat Side Order. We'll go through that again if it comes up in the history, but I do remember beating Side Order recently. And that was just a fun little RPG mode to it, so that was pretty cool. Not RPG, roguelike. It was that was something uh that was proud of doing, at least of getting through. I like to play this every now and then at least, but it's not a game I focus on a lot. That's why it's like one of my ongoings. It's not one I'm really like hardcore focusing on. But I will get on it every now and then to play some of the matches. Learn Japanese to Survive. Katakana War has been my main learn to Japanese to survive game that I've been doing. And like I said, this is probably one of the main ones I'm going to be doing for my extensive studies instead of my if not Wagatabi. And I do want to get through more of it anyways, because I actually kind of really like the Learn the Japanese games. I just kind of need to get through more of them in due diligence. I haven't touched it a lot this past month, to be fair, but hopefully we can change it around this month. Is hopefully what we're gonna do. I still play Ring Fit Adventure every now and then. I haven't been the final guy yet, but I'm getting closer to it. Uh, Slowly and surely getting there. I'm gonna definitely have a lot more time to play these next couple of days. As my morning workout routine. Hopefully, get a little bit further into it. Still on World 12. Yeah, I haven't made a lot of progress. I admittedly have not been playing a lot of it because a lot of the days that I think about playing it, um, I had to go into work, and I feel like work already puts me through enough, so I just don't boot it up that day. uh, but yeah, I just need to. I need to get through more of it. You're on World 19. Okay. Does it is there like a clear world or like cuz like or like there's there more worlds after the fact of when you do it? Cuz that seems like a lot if that's where the game goes to. Cuz already it feels like they're like leading up to like a final confrontation. It goes up to 24. It sounds about right, to be fair. It's actually a lot of content. They have that game lasts a long time, to be fair, especially because you can't play it like too for too long, otherwise you'll just actually get tired. It's definitely a long burn, I'll tell you that. But yeah, hopefully we can actually. I would like to actually just try it, at least for the month of July. Just try to boot it up every day because I really want to make it like I've been bad about it this last month, but I'd like to actually really make it like a thing I think about and put into my mind. It takes time. It's the only thing, and sometimes I don't have time. Stardew Valley, I have been playing with Ben. He does also want to play it tonight if I can help it, so we'll see about that. But I've been playing my modded playthrough with him for a little while. Yeah, we're still currently on summer. It's still a fun game. I still like playing this just every now and then, even in my spare time. Very chill game, much farm. Um, I normally like to just go into the mines and do all those things. That's usually like what I'm the best at. But I like just doing the regular things too. I like seeing all the little character stories and doing all the farming and foraging bits that the game has to offer. It's grown on me over the past couple of months I've been playing it, at least a lot more than I initially started with it. So it's a good game though. Good game. I like to try to boot up Monster Prom 4 every now and then, just to try to make a little bit more progress toward and see some character interactions with all the people because I love this game. It's one of the games I actually really want to get a lot more into. I haven't really played it actually a lot this past month, but I would like to make a change to that starting July, hopefully. Just even just on my Steam Deck, like because I've done that before. At least I think I remember at least doing that at some point this last month. I just booted up on my Steam Deck and just played a good session of it while I was on the road or with family and such. You know, it still lasts a good while too because the actual length of the game is like still about an hour and a half. Even if you're just doing a short single player thing, it still lasts pretty long compared to some of the other games. It's still good though. I like this one a lot. Sashingo again, same page as Learn a Japanese or Wagatabi. It's gonna be one of the main Japanese games I boot up every now and then to keep my proficiency up and keep my stuff going. Um, those three games are probably not going to leave the now playing list for a good while. Katakana Wars might be the only one that might at some point because there will be a finite end, I feel like, to this game at some point, right? There has to be. But this one's still nice to play every now and then. I enjoy the aesthetic of this game a lot. It's also really good for helping you learn Japanese. I still play Katsune Miku Colorful Stage just about every day. Even if it's just one song that I do every day. I like just playing it every now and then. It's I don't have a lot of time to go through the band stories, which I want to because I actually kind of like some of the characters in that game. But I I still like just at least booting up every day and just playing a good song or so. It's still very fun. There's an end game for Katagana Wars. Don't worry about that. I had a feeling there was. I'm like, there has to be an end to that game because there's only so many words you can learn. All right. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Um, Man, we did not play it at all this last month, did we? Yeah, no, I don't think we did. Hmm. Hopefully that changes once I beat Deltarune. I would like to try to find more time to actually play games on the channel again, because this has been one of the ones that I've been meaning to finish. Wow, it's been a whole month since I played that game. That's crazy. I feel very bad about that actually. Yeah, hopefully we get a little bit more time this month to actually finish these games and actually play through them, because that's embarrassing. I do want to finish it though. It's at least this one. I do want to finish Knuckles' side part to it after Sonic finished Dead Rising. I haven't even gotten that far into Dead Rising. I I don't know about playing that on the channel at least. I don't know. There's so many other games I'd want to get through before Dead Rising, to be fair. Um, I don't know. Some point in the future, probably. Not not anytime soon though, at least. Baldur's Gate 3. I still like to boot this up just about every week or so. Kind of, I like to basically do what I do with my D&D, and I kind of like to treat this as like a weekly thing that I boot up and do a little bit of gameplay for, just so I can make some fucking progress in it. Because there's a lot of progress I would like to make in it, to be fair. I still have a lot of work to go through with my main character before even touching any of the other characters I have listed on this freaking list. We'll get to there. We'll get there. You got to finish their writing so we can do the co-op playthroughs of the other ones. Oh, they have co-op for the other ones? That's interesting. I actually didn't know about that. We'll think about it at least. But again, I have a lot of other Blue Plays games I've been trying to do. Uh, maybe we'll think about doing it after Knuckles, Sonic and Knuckles, because I know Deltarune is the main one I wanted to do for this, and after we do the stuff for Deltarune and Knuckles, then I have the other game or the other streams I want to try out to kind of balance out the flow of doing Blue Plays. So I don't know, it might be a while till it gets done anyways. Street Pass I still play every now and then. It's it's starting to get harder to play this now though, because my A button is really just like not working on my old 3DS. So yeah, I still try to do what I can for some of these. I think I recently beat one of these. I know one of the most recent ones I beat was Ultimate Angler. The other ones are kind of hard to get through at the moment. The main one I've been going through is Ninja Launcher. This is kind of really like the main one I've been doing, that I've been pouring my play coins into, because it's easy enough to do without the A button. You just have to use the things on the side and then tap the screen for the launching. But it's not really a big priority for me, at least. These are just more so if I find the time to do it, I go ahead and go through them. I want to experience the rest of them. That's why I have them here. But eventually, I probably will stop playing these at some point when they become too hard or not worth it. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing with them so far. I love the hell out of these games for the longest time. That's why I've kept playing them for so long. I still need to get into the Baldur's Gate 3 once I get my new graphics card installed to run it. Yeah, it's a good game. It's especially if you're into D&D and if you're into RPGs, it's a really good game. It plays really well. It has some really good characters, a really good story. It's just actually a really good game. I would love to play it a lot more than I have this last month. but I've been busy with so many other things in my life. It's hard to find time sometimes, you know. And then the last game on my now playing is Beat Saber, kind of just as a general reminder of, hey, you have an Oculus, play it. I have, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've touched this at all since my last month. I don't think I've touched the Oculus Quest 2 this entire month. I really need to get around to doing that more often because I actually really like VR gaming and I want to get through more of it. I want to experience it a little bit more. So that's what a lot of these are here. Is these are games that I don't really play a lot, but I have them as like reminders of like, hey, do it. Just whenever you can, just do it. When I get the game, I'm doing a co-op run with you when you play it, and I play as Victoria. Ooh, that could be interesting actually. Mostly because I'm not sure what. I guess Victoria would be a. She'd probably have to be a cleric class, I imagine. That would be interesting actually. I would love to play as Victoria actually in that game. That's a cool idea. I would love to play even with you too. And that's a cool idea. Yeah, whenever you get it, let me know. I'm always down to play Baldur's Gate, dude. It's such a good game. All right. So now we've gone through our now playing. I'm going to go through the history and give you guys a little kind of inkling of what things have gone on this past month. So just ignore what you guys are about to see first because we're going to go from the bottom and then work our way up. So da, 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 da. Just ignore this, ignore this, ignore this. Okay. And here we are. So this is where Pansy's going to have an aneurysm. So yeah, that actually was a thing that I remember saying before. Is I did Beats I order this last past month. It was actually like right after. It was like not too far long after the with the May countdown stream. It was because I know you said that we did that little co-op playthrough of Splatoon here, Pansy, and I think a little after that is when I just played Side Order on my own for a little while, and that run I did it turned out to be the run that beat the game, and I was like, okay, cool. There's a lot more Side Order content to go through, but I do need to get through more of it at some point. Uh, but it's not too much of a priority for me. I'm at least glad I was able to beat it because it was a neat little side story for it for sure. I already saw them earlier remove those added games. No, it's fine. It's fine, Pansy. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. It's okay. We'll get to it when we get to it. I'll explain in a bit here. All right, so going upwards. Oh, here we go. So we have these games that we added recently. It was the day after I beat Side Order. Um, yeah, I did get Metaphor, which I do want to play that at some point in the future. I mainly got it because it was on sale, and it was just a good game to get on sale. To be fair, because I've heard really good things about Metaphor, and I've wanted to try it for a while because it's basically medieval Persona, and at some point I'll find a time to play it because it's a long haul game. Like it's one of those games that you play for a good long while. Um, so it's probably not going to be something I play soon. Um, in fact, I'm probably going to be playing Persona 3 Reload before I play this game. But I do. I at least like the fact. I at least especially want to support them in the endeavor uh, that I did buy it. So at least it's something that I own and I can play once I find the right time to. But I know that's going to be one I'm going to be working on for quite a while. I also picked up Witcher 3 because it was like $2. And I was just like, why not, dude? I heard so many great things about The Witcher 3. Why not just pick it up for like dirt cheap? Um, Survival Ascended, I actually. Oh, I think I added this because I realized I had it, but I didn't actually add to my thing. Same with the Warhammer game. It was one of those games that I had on my or no, I think those were the two new games from what's it called? Because I got the PlayStation Monthly, I think. I think that's what it was. Corey. Why not? Because you already have almost 2,000 games. Hey, no, it's okay. I I I know. Again, I did a lot of retouching with this backloggery over the years, um, which actually I'll get to that after I do this. But there's a lot of things I touched up upon because I was a lot more realistic with the stuff that I went through. I was like, I have a lot of these games and I'm never gonna play a lot of them. So a lot of my unplayed I kind of put into a shelf in the shelf list on the backloggery, where it's just like I don't. It doesn't matter if I don't get to this game. I'm just gonna put it out there. Um, I just mainly like having the backloggery because it shows off my collection of games and it shows off what I can play if I ever want to. So that's why I have all these games on here as I do here. And then is this where we do it? Nope. Okay, this is not where we do the aneurysm yet, but we're getting there. Um, I picked up I think these three games on a Steam summer sale or some kind of sale that was going on. I think actually Headliners was one that Pansy gifted me, so I got that. And then of course, because of my Switch 2, I picked up Mario Kart World, and I actually did play it that day because I had to try it out. It was pretty good. And then I added the Nintendo GameCube Classics games from there too. So I had that list ready to go there at least. But yeah, that was I think that was launch day as well too. So that was basically the day I got my Nintendo Switch 2, and I played as much as more Mario Kart World as I could. And Mario Kart World was fun. By the way, I must say that's something that you didn't see on my uh, now playing because I beat that game so quickly. Actually, I beat it within this month. It was a fun game. It was very short compared to, but then again, it's a karting game, so I don't really expect it to be that long. Um, but yeah, it's still a really good game. I don't know if it's worth $80, but I got it for 50, so I would say it was much more worth it at that price point. But yeah, there's some things I like about the game, and overall, I think it's not too bad. Uh, I still am getting, I think, a lot more mileage out of Breath of the Wild 2, um, over Mario Kart World, but this is still a good launch title, at least for the Nintendo Switch 2, especially to show off its power, because it actually does have a good amount of power on that system, even in handheld mode. It runs really well in handheld too. But yeah, and then these games I'll probably eventually get to at some point. uh, 10th was when I added. Oh yeah, this is when I added the chapters into my Deltarune playlist to kind of section off the little individual parts, because that's kind of how Deltarune really did its things. Uh, it kind of it does it by chapter basis. So once you beat one, you go on to the next part. Kind of like its own little sub game, you know. And of course, again, that was the same day that I beat Mario Kart World. So I just decided to update that while I was at it. Also, I think was that also the day? I guess that was the day I started Chapter 3 as well too, because I have that as set to unfinished then. So that's cool. Okay, or at least around there is probably when I did it, I imagine. Oh, my Spotify just like stopped playing music. It just completely shut itself down. It's just like, okay, I'm done. Goodbye. Oh yeah, I did beat Pokemon Violet this month too, because Pansy convinced me to play it on stream, and it so happened to be the same day that I beat it. Because all I needed to do for Pokemon Violet was I just needed to beat the Elite Four and my rival and Cassiopeia, and I was done with the game. And we basically spent all stream doing just that, because we played a little bit of it together on stream that day, for since we had the Nintendo Switch Online thing going on still, and we played that along with a couple of other games. But this game looked beautiful on the Switch too, by the way. Like it actually ran really well. It's it's so unfortunate that it had to be released on the Switch and not the Switch 2 because I think this game would have popped the hell off if it was on Switch 2. A lot more than it originally did. After nearly 3 years, you finally beat it. I know, right? Finally, dude. To be fair, I put it off for so long because it didn't feel like going through beating the main champion league. But I had my people at a decent enough level. I had enough candies to actually get them all to around the same level, and I was just like, let's grind through it. Let's go and do it. And it just so happened to be the day we did it. So yay. Another game beaten on the Switch list. And then, okay, here we go. Here's where we might have an aneurysm. Yeah, we added a decent amount of games this day, on the 13th. This was when, for Steam. Oh, right, this is when I went through my Humble Bundle. That's what it was. So a lot of these games you're going to notice are from my Humble Bundle. That's when I decided to redeem my Steam keys and add all these games to my list, which I have sorted as well too. Whether or not I'll play them in the near future or not. I definitely am doing at least a thing where I want to try out the games, and then I'll eventually, and then if I don't want to play them anymore, then I'll shelve it. But for the moment, I have all the games I'm actually interested in trying out and playing, unshelved just to see what we got. Get rid of Humble Bundle. No, but I like supporting the charity and owning a bunch of indie games to try out. It's what I love about it. Sure, it's adding like 10 new games to my, or no, it's adding 8 new games to my Steam library basically every month. But some of those are games I actually really like. Like, I'm actually looking forward to a couple of these games. 1000 Resistor look really nice. What was the other one? A couple of the other things seem kind of interesting. Evil West, I heard interesting things about. Haven Dock, I think, was kind of interesting too. Novaland, I think, kind of caught my eye a bit too. And the Bounty Hunter game seemed kind of interesting too. I think Chia looked actually kind of neat too. Yeah, Chia actually looked really neat from what I remember. And Ultros, I think, was like a Metroidvania. So a lot of games that I at least I'm interested in trying, but we'll have to see about those. Just cut out the middleman and donate the charities directly. But I still like getting all these games so I can try them out. There's a couple of games I got from Humble Bundle that I would have eventually paid for on my own, but because I got it through Humble Bundle, and I'm only paying like the $10 or so every month, I'm getting like all these games for like dirt cheap. So it's all good for me. I see no problem with this. Oh yeah, I think I said I said this one to endless, and I started hidden. I didn't technically start hidden, folks. I just noticed that it was when I was adding games to this. I noticed that this was a game that I played at one point. So I was like, okay, I'll put it as my unfinished because I did play it at one point. And I do believe I shelved it that same day. So yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, you'll see a definite change to my list when we go to the rest of it. All right, here's where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. Okay. Actually, I'll go from the bottom up because this is, I think, easier to explain this way. So this was the day. Actually, no, I'll start from the top because this has to be the day I did it. So here you go. The 14th. The 14th was when I decided, you know what? I have a lot of these collections of games from Nintendo Switch Online, and why not catalog them? So that's exactly what I did. I put every game that was from the Nintendo Switch collections, and just kind of sorted them into all their little things to show that they are games that I can play. I not necessarily would play all of them. I shelved a lot of the ones that I knew I wasn't going to try. Um, but the ones again that I said that I was interested in, I decided to just leave open, just to kind of remind myself, hey, try this game out whenever you can find the time to. There's actually also when I was going through this too, there's a lot of them that I was kind of interested in too because I didn't realize that they were out on the thing, and a lot of them are interesting. Like I would like to try out the Stoffy series at some point, and of course the old school DK Donkey Kong. There's a lot of F-Zero games. I'm actually surprised how many F-Zero games they put on to that system. And then I had the original Kid Icarus as well too. I had all the Mario Golfs, the Mario Parties, the Mega Mans, um, some of the Pokemon-ish stuff, and then some of the Legend of Zeldas, Twinbee, Mario Land, Wrecking Crew. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I was kind of curious about. So, and then these are all the ones that I kind of knew about. So then these I put into a separate thing. Nintendo Switch Online doesn't count. Remove all the games. You will know you'll never play. No, it's I like having it cataloged because I like seeing it in its own sorted page. And I kind of like I again the whole point of Backloggery is to keep progress on games that I would potentially play. So I decided why not go through all of them and see which ones I would potentially play. So that's exactly what I did on that day. I did play, yeah, Super Mario Picross. I just never added it to my thing, so I just kind of did it then that day. And then all these games I know are games that, or at least I had a good inkling for all of these games in the endless thing. That I'm like, okay, there's not really a beaten percentage to do these games. These are just games to play, so I just put them all as endless. Uh, Again, to be fair, most of these other games that are unfinished, they also might be just endless things, but I don't know for sure. I haven't tried it out, but I, I at least want to see what they're like. Like maybe I'll just find a random day when I have some free time coming up to just boot it up and try out some of the old school games, see what they're like. Actually, I did recently. I forgot to update it. I did try out Kirby Star Stacker fairly recently. I don't really know if there's a way to beat that game. The first level was already so long because I just kind of kept doing stuff in it. But that was one of the few ones where I was just kind of sitting, waiting for my car to get fixed, and I was just like, yeah, let's just boot up Kirby Star Stacker. I want to try it out. And I just played it for a good while. It was a neat little game to just try out at least. That's at least the main thing I like about a lot of those. So that's basically where a lot of these I've kind of delved into. As you can see in the chat, Pansy's having an aneurysm. But it's okay. We don't need to worry about this whole list, Pansy. It's not important. These are literally just games I try out in my playtime. It's not like I'm adding a whole bunch of stuff that I need to eventually beat. It's just stuff to try out. There are some of them I am going through though. There are some of them I'm actually like curious to play through all the way. Like because I want to play through all the old school Kirby games, and I want to play Earthbound and Earthbound 2. Those ones I'm actually like really interested in trying to beat, as well as of course the old school Mario's. Those are the ones I'm actually like interested in trying to beat. Everything else is kind of just if I can get to it, you know. All right. 16th is when we beat Chapter 3 for Deltarune, so that was fun. I did like Chapter 3 too. It was good a good chapter. Good characters, good moments. All in all, not too bad. I did start Code Vein around 6:20 with Ben, and so we've kind of been playing off and on since then. And then, oh yeah, here's something that Pans will be at least be excited about. So we actually finally beat Kirby Superstar about 6 days ago. I just played it randomly. I finally decided to get through the rest of the Meta Knight story, and we beat it that day. So yay! I really like Superstar. It was I still kind of like the newer Kirby's a little bit more than the old school ones, but the old school ones are still fun to play. At least especially to see where he kind of came from and everything. I just like him a lot as a character, and I really like the the style and how the games played back in the day because they were kind of like meant to be a little bit easier than some of the other platformers that were going on around that time. So I appreciated that. We also did beat Senran Kagura Ninja Wars. I think that same day too. Yeah, or at least around the same time. And yeah, that was a good experience. I'm looking forward to being Super Dimension, but Senran Kagura was a good game all the way through. I ended up doing a lot of the side conversations at the end of that stream, uh, and I haven't gone through the Yomi training yet, but I do want to kind of see what it's like or what it's all about. But I think I'm more excited to get into a new Neptunia game, especially for the new month. So we'll probably be doing that tomorrow instead. I might boot this up again in my spare time to try to get through some of the Yomi training and experience that at least a little bit before I put it down for a while. But I might just do that in my own spare time. Sonic Frontiers we finally completed because Pansy convinced me to. I think it was after the stream that we did it on, uh, to actually go through and get that last achievement. Because I'll tell you what, it actually was easy enough to get. All I literally had to do was I had to I had to go out to like the what was it, I think the second one, the second world, yeah, the second island. Find one of those little springy guys. Just keep repeatedly doing a until I got the Phantom Rush, and I just did that until it reached 50, and we got the achievement. So it was an easy grab. Uh, I would still say, in terms of Sonic Frontiers, I'm not entirely finished with some of the content. There's a lot of new stuff they added for like the past story that I still haven't gone through that I still want to experience and try. But I'm I think I'd rather go through some of the other Sonic games before going back to Frontiers. But it's still a good game. It was still a cool game to go back to, at least for the moment. I think unironically too, the day that I completed it was I'm not sure it's just because I still had the stuff from the last birthday event, but I think it might have been Sonic's birthday to be fair, and it was replaying the Sonic birthday stuff. So I was like, oh, this is funny. What a fitting time to complete this game on. But yeah, that was at least, yeah. And you're welcome, of course, Pansy. I've it honestly was just really easy to do. I just I was putting it off for so long for no reason. Uh, I think I thought it was harder to do than I thought it was. Or at least for me, I just didn't care enough about it to want to complete it. But again, it was an easy platinum to get for the game at least. So we finally got that done. And then yeah, a couple of days ago, that's right. I think this is the day I got my car fixed because this is when all this new stuff came out. This was the day that I added and tried out Persona 5 Phantom X, and because I think that was actually the launch day of it too. And then I also tried out the two new games the on the GameCube emulator. Yeah, the official GameCube emulator that Nintendo released, the Classics Collection on that. I did start F-Zero GX on that because I was curious to see what it was like, and Soul Calibur 2 for a while. I played through Link's little thing on the arcade mode, and for the rest of it, I kind of just did his. I did the little adventure mode where you unlock the weapons and stuff. I didn't get too far into it, just like the first three missions, but that was nice though. I did. I it was a blast from the past for me, Soul Calibur 2, because I literally have it. I remember playing that game a lot way back in the day, like on the GameCube. I'm pretty sure is what we had on too, and it was something that it kind of sparked a memory in it when I first played it. GX was entirely new to me though, so that was an interesting little thing to try to get into. I at least wanted to try it out. I don't know if I'll go back to it, but I want that day I was sitting there. I was just like, I want to try out things on the GameCube, on the GameCube classics. So let's just boot it up and see what we got. Um, Wind Waker, I think, is going to be a tough challenge for me because it's just, I think it's a really big game, and I don't know how long it is, but I know it's at least longer than these two. And then, oh yeah, and 4 days ago, we added these new games because I saw they were on they were on sale for the Steam Summer Sale, and god damn it, I just couldn't help myself. So we got them. I had my eye on DJ Maxx for a while because it's very much like Osumania. So I did want to actually try it out and see what it was like for myself. Fairy Fencer F is apparently supposed to be. This is a refrain chord specifically is supposed to be the tactics version of Fairy Fencer F, which is an interesting idea. So, and it was on sale for a good amount, so I was like, I guess I'll get it because I that's one of the other series I wanted to get into, along with Neptunia was Fairy Fencer because it's made by the same company and everything. So I wanted to own it for the collection of that sake at least too. Once I eventually finally play Fairy Fencer F and see what that's all about, and then I could play the tactics version of it. From what I've heard of it, I think it's exactly the same kind of story as Fairy Fencer, but it's just reimagined as a tactics RPG instead. So that'll be interesting to try out. Again, Honeycomb Studio was dirt cheap, so I just wanted to pick it up because I got the other Honey Pop game, so why not get the Studio one as well? I heard really good things about Little Busters, so I asked Ben, "Hey, is this worth the amount it's on sale for?" And he's like, "Yes, it is. I wish I would have gotten it for that much." Now I'm like, "Fair enough," and I just grabbed it. um, so that's going to be a visual novel I play probably, hopefully, in the near future. I would like to get through it at least. Actually, in terms of visual novels, I might get into this after I go through Nekopara because I want Nekopara to be my first real like actual visual novel experience, even though I've technically already played Doki Doki Literature Club, but that was kind of more of a parody and or horror take on the visual novel genre. Uh, these ones actually are like just like full-fledged visual novels, which I want to try out. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, maybe sometime later this upcoming month we can do that. I also heard really good things about Potionomics, so I was like, I need to pick this up while it's on sale. Who knows when it's gonna go on sale again? So, just gonna grab it right now. Potionomics is poggers. I highly recommend it. I will hopefully play it at some point this upcoming month, if I can help it. I might actually want to. I might try to make it my next Steam stream because I would like to try it on stream for sure first and get my first take on it. But again, of course, before we do our Steam stream, we got to get through Deltarune and we got to get through Sonic. So I just got to find time to stream. When that will be, who knows? But we'll hopefully try to find some more time to stream upcoming. Hopefully, whenever I can find a way to do it. After the hundreds of games you added to the list, I can't believe you didn't add Sex and the Furry Titty 3. uh, it's interesting that you call that out, Pansy, because I did add it. I just didn't add it publicly. But yeah, it's that was one of the secret ads that I did. Because that I don't like to make a big deal about the Sex and the Furry Titty series, but I do play it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I play it. I'm just ashamed to admit when I play it, if that makes any sense. You know, it's one of those games where it's just like, yeah, it's fine to show off that I play it, but I just don't like people knowing when I do. I like to keep that to myself. Thank you very much. um, and then yeah, the Audio Surf 1 and 2, I heard really good things about, and they were on sale, so I was like, I'll pick them up, and hopefully I can actually get the time to try it out myself. Whenever I got free time, hopefully these next 3 days. I'm hoping to maybe do it sometime these next 3 days if I can help it. But that is our history, and now I'm gonna go through my backloggery here. So, as you can see here, this is the amount of games, I think, yeah, in my games, And then this is the amount of I've had 403 games I think already this year. That's funny. That's funny. That makes sense though. Um, so, but yeah, as you can see, the total amount of games that I have on my whole thing is about 1900, but only about 1093 of them I'm actually interested in trying to get through, or at least try out. So that's why that's there. And then if I click this tab, that's when the number goes up. That's when the number goes up. So actually, we can probably do this now, right? Whoops. Yeah, we can just do this for this now to kind of show it off a little bit more. Actually, we can do like this. There we go. That's fine. This shows us at least this whole thing here. So as you can see, again, this is my main stats for my whole thing. I did a lot of retouching and redoing with this list. It's still not perfect. There's still a lot of games on my Steam list I haven't gone through yet that I do at least want to like scroll through and just find trailers for, look up things and be like, am I going to play it? No, shelve it. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. The shelving list is my don't worry about it list now. So that's kind of what I've been doing with it now. And so as you can see, a considerable amount of the games that originally were on this list, which was 1,300, I've whittled down to 900. So we're getting there, hopefully, slowly and surely. But there is still a decent amount of Steam games that I left unplayed because I do want to eventually get through them and try it out. But a lot of them are going to be Steam streams for sure, at least. But I don't think it's at least going to be this number. I think this number is going to go down a lot more before the next wrap up at least. Hopefully I can get this to a much smaller margin because again, this is what I actually have. This is what I am dealing with though. And you can see also too that was it. So yeah, out of 1,300, only 900 I'm actually focusing on. So that's like already 300 to 400 of the games that originally were on my list. I'm just like, it's whatever. But my unfinished is the interesting part too, because there was actually a couple of games I remember starting, and then I'm just like, I probably will never get back to this again. So I shelved all those as well too. So out of the 166 games I actually started, I'm only actually interested in finishing about 105 of them, which is still a large number, but it's not nearly as large as the other one. So I feel like I'm doing good on that regard. And 70 of the games were endless, which is interesting too. Okay. But yeah, that's those are my stats at least on that. So again, I'm still working on the active backlog. It's definitely a much better number than it used to be. It's still quite a bit. It's still quite tragic, but we're gonna fix it hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm still at least glad to say that out of all the games I played in my life, I have still at least beaten 208 of them, 280 of them, and I've completed 40 of them. So, yay. And then the rest of them are just like stuff I can just play them whenever. Some of the endless games I've been lost in for a while too. They are kind of suckers sometimes, but at least I've experienced that many. It's actually kind of crazy to know that I've experienced that many games. It's like over 300 games. It's crazy. And again, this is my platform summary. So hold on. If I go, there you go. There you go. This will show off the full figure. So we got all of our bars here for all of our stuff. As you can, again, you can see most of my games are from Steam that are unfinished. But I do now have a decent amount of Nintendo Switch library, mainly because of the online stuff. And then my PS4 and PS5 lists have a decent chunk of it as well too, because of all the stuff I've gotten from them too. Thankfully, every other thing I've been kind of keeping down for a while. Nintendo 3DS I have a little bit in because I actually am interested in getting back through some of those games I've lost for a while, but some of the others I'm not so much. And then again, the full figure is about this, about that much is my full list. So making a decent chunk. It's funny actually kind of looking at it too. So out of the 72 games that I actually have on my PlayStation 5, I'm actually only really interested in trying out 51 of them. 100 of the Steam games have gone down. A bunch of the Switch library's gone down. Yeah, you can see actually there's about 350 games on that thing technically that I own. But I'm actually only really interested in about 135 of them at the moment. Oh boy. It's funny looking at this list though. Look at the Android list is funny too because it's just like whoop, all those endless games. I'm just kind of comparing and contrasting now. Yeah, I dropped a couple of my 3DS games. I think mostly because I know I'm not going to beat them, or I would have to restart them anyways, and I didn't want to do that. Sadly, a lot of my PS3 library looks like it was lost for whatever reason, but that's okay. And a decent amount of my PlayStation Portable library. A few of my Xbox library also was lost too. Yeah, it's alright. I also have one Battle.net game that I don't play. I'm pretty sure that's Hearthstone. I think that's all it is. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of where I lay now with all of that. Again, hopefully this list looks a little bit better. It is funny to think about the fact that I did technically add 400 games though this month or this year alone. Yeah, it's funny. That's just because I decided to actually catalog everything. The next coming months should be a lot less drastic in terms of backlog addition. Hopefully, at least. I still get new games, but it's I'm really trying my best now this month or this year at least to try to actually work through this backlog because there is a decent amount of games on here I've always been curious about, and now is a great chance to try them because there's not a lot of new games coming out that I'm interested in. The main ones I was interested in was Mario Kart World and basically everything I got in my history now. Um, all these games I'm actually interested in. But actually, in terms of new games, yeah, Persona 5X I was also curious about. Um, but yeah, again, you see, other than that, a lot of the games I put on these aren't like new games, like games that are coming out this year. Mario Kart World is probably the newest game I've played, I think, and of course Night Rain, yeah. But there's not a whole lot. There is some games I am interested in trying out this year and picking up when they come out, but I think mainly like Sonic Crossworlds is the first one that comes to mind of like the next big purchase I'm probably gonna end up making in the future. Um, but I'm gonna be probably blowing through that game fairly quickly, I imagine at least. Okay, I think we spent like actually what we started this stream around like 40 50. I think we've been talking about games for an hour, dude. We've been talking about games for like an hour. That's kind of funny. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next section of our stream because yes, there is multiple sections. Believe it or not, I don't just talk about games. I also talk about other things. But these are going to be a lot more brief because I haven't been doing a lot in them. Anime. We're gonna go through our currently watching, and again, I'll do my regular thing where I kind of go through the other stuff too, just to touch upon them. But as far as I know, I don't think I've touched a lot of the stuff in here. Um, I haven't made any progress with Sonic X, mainly just because I've just kind of keep it as a reminder. I do want to actually watch more of it. I should, because I did enjoy actually the Japanese dub that I'm going through with that. But I have a lot more I've been actually trying to do recently. I think the two I'm going to try getting through first is ReZero Season 3 and Attack on Titan. I think I'm going to focus on those two the most. Um, Attack on Titan, as you can see, I got 17 episodes into it. I really, you know what? Oh man, I forgot I was that much into it. What is that? 7 more episodes? How much more in this? I could, dude. Ah man, I could just finish Attack on Titan. Which actually, hold on. Is there more to this? Uh, there's a season 2. Never mind. I might just pick it up later. I was gonna say if this is all I need to watch of Attack on Titan before I'm caught up, not because I of course what am I saying, dude? This thing has gone on for like what 4 seasons or something like that. There was I know there's like a final season that came out at some point. That shit goes on for a while. I know that. Um, so it's gonna be a while till I get through more of Attack on Titan. I'm definitely gonna get through ReZero season 3 first, and then maybe I might finish the first season of Attack on Titan. At least get through the first season, because I would like to at least get that completed before adding the next season on there. I really need to watch more anime. I've wasted so much time watching reruns of Ed and Eddie. You know, honestly, based. Ed and Eddie is such a good show. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you for watching that over and over again. It's such a great show. I'm putting Lucky Star on hold for a while until I get through some of these other shows. Um, Gurren Lagann, I'm just gonna restart later, like I said. Um, I only have it on my currently watching just because I want it to be like the next big thing I watch. But there's so many other shows to get through first. It's crazy how much I need to watch, dude. Um, I had not actually gone through more of High School Host Club. I should probably actually take this one off my list. I haven't watched it in a long time. I was watching this. I was rewatching this with my family. That's why it's on here. Um, I do actually kind of want to go back to Regresco again. It was actually really cute, and I like the Japanese voices in it a little bit better. I think it fits the theme and the show a little bit more. Uh, I just had to work through it. Life has many doors, Ed boy. You dare mock the son of a shepherd? Yeah. Rolf is a very great character. I haven't gone through more Gintama yet, but uh, I've been watching a lot less anime this past month than I would like to admit. I did watch, I think, a decent amount of ReZero season 3. Like, I'm on episode 4 now, so I am starting to get through more of that. And that's kind of the main one I want to go through, too, is I want to try to finish that first before anything else. That's, like, the main one I'm doing. Oh, actually, that was my plan, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, my plan was I was going to watch all of ReZero season 3, get caught up on that, and then when that's done, I watch Demon Slayer and get through all of that because I've heard that's a great show. And maybe I'll even Spy Family after that too, just kind of as a palate cleanser because these two I know are going to be like big shonen shows, and I think I need a good palate cleanser somewhere in between of just like one of these to go get a call with to. To be fair, I should probably just sprinkle it in every now and then. That's kind of what I should do is a little bit of ReZero season 3, and then every now and then just boot up Spy Family. Just watch an episode or so of that. Kind of treat it like it is like a shows that I watch every now and then instead of binging it all the way through. I think that might be a neat idea to do with it. Dan Da Dan I do want to watch, and then everything else I think is about the same as it was before. Yeah, all the rest of the stuff on this series is basically as the same as it was. Oh yeah, I heard really good things about Solo Leveling, so I do want to try that out at some point. And I heard pretty good things about Feyrin as well too, so I also want to get through that. It's basically as much as I'll admit on all those. But yeah, I need to eventually find the rest of the OVAs too for Neptunia. It's eventually I think I'll crank that out at one point whenever I can. Just find anywhere that has it. I'm desperate at this point, dude. I just want to watch it. They're telling me that there is 2 OVAs to Neptunia out there, and I don't know where they are, but I will find them and I will watch them and I will consume them. I don't think I've completed any more anime since my last thing, but again, I'm gonna go through it just to be safe. All of these should be what they were the last time. God, I just realized too with the dark. I need to change my theming on my anime list because blue is so hard to read against black, dude. It's so hard to read against it. But I want to have a dark color scheme. But I should make this at least a brighter blue if I'm gonna do that because I can hardly read some of these names. My. Yeah, all these look familiar to me. But yeah, I think I would remember if I finished a series this month. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I haven't yet. I know I know what's it called? ReZero is gonna join that pretty soon. Pretty soon at least. Alright, so that's anime. And if you thought that section was short, wait till we get to the next one, art. Oh, this is embarrassing. Would you believe if I told you that I haven't published any art for 2 months? Oh God, that's embarrassing. But yeah, I'm gonna be changing that hopefully soon. This was the last art that I uploaded to my profile, and I have still been working on Heather in the background. It's just been taking a while. I've been doing a lot of other things. Nintendo Switch 2, I think, did distract me for a good while. I would imagine, and just a decent amount of other stuff, including work, have just been getting in the way of me finding time to do art. So, like I said before earlier, I am going to try to remedy this by just drawing at least 1 hour worth of drawing uh every every day if I can try to help it. And if I don't draw that day, then I just stack the hour onto the next day I do until I get caught up, and then I'll eventually get through more drawings. But for the most part, yeah, the Heather drawing's been taking a while just because it's such a big project. Um, it's a lot bigger of a project than I thought it was going to be. To be fair, because I'm drawing the buildings and um, and I'm getting all the stuff done for that. Which the buildings have been like the main reason why it's been taking so long. If it was just a character drawing, it would have been done already. But because I have the city behind her, I have so much to work on with that. So once I get done with that, though, I am going to draw all my characters like Pandy saying, like Danny. I'd have so many characters that I want to show off to the world, and make character sheets for, and I will be doing that, and hopefully getting more progress on those in the coming days. Hopefully, again, these next 3 days, at least for sure, are going to be pretty productive for me, I think, because I'm off for the next 3 days, and I'll definitely find at least a little bit of time at some point to uh, draw these things for like about an hour and get that progress done for my art. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. Heather is almost done though. I can at least say that for certain. She is. I just need to get the coloring done for all of the buildings and all the windows, and put in the effects and color correct the stuff to make it look like nighttime. And then once that's all done, it can be sent out to the world for the world to enjoy. I really like how it's coming out so far, though. So please stay tuned for that. I'm sorry it takes so long for me to make art. I have been so distracted by everything that I've been doing recently. I just have not been able to do it. All right. Now let's talk about something more fun and thing that I've actually been doing in these last month. Streaming. So, since the last monthly wrap up, we have done a decent amount of stuff for our channel. Uh, Basically, we went through a lot more of the Ninja Wars, and I thought I added end to the end of this, but I guess not. But we did finish Senran Kagura, and actually we only. Oh wait, hold on. It's because number 5's on that. Wait a minute. 4 days ago. Did I miss number 6? Hold on a second, guys. Did I make an oopsie? Hold on. I'm gonna whoops. I can this one up. I'm gonna look into this in a second for a quick second. Give me a second. Whoop. Did I not make it public? Oh my god, I didn't make it public. I forgot to make it public. Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, for everyone who was missing out on the end of Senran Kagura Ninja Wars 6, it is now available on YouTube. Huzzah! Huzzah, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to upload that. You should be ashamed. That's mega embarrassing, dude. Okay, now if I reload this page, it should show up. Yep, it is now there. Okay, so let's try this again. Here is my newly updated streaming page. Yay. Hey, look, we beat Neptunia this month. Oh boy, dude. Yeah, I don't know how that flew under my radar. I think I was just quickly doing it that night, and I just completely forgot to set private to public, and it just completely flew under my radar. Even after uploading the Monster Prom play, the one, I just completely forgot about that one. That's so funny. All right. Well, they're gonna be the YouTube audience is gonna be getting a lot more of a helping of Neptunia content this next couple of days, because I just released this and we're gonna be releasing the other one tomorrow. So yay! All right, so now talking about the things that's going on with the channel, we did play Senran Kagura more this last month, and it was a fun game. I did really enjoy it. It was my first time with a Senran Kagura type of game, but it really did feel like a Neptunia game in essence, because it was how the story was paced and how the dungeons and stuff were laid out. It felt very Neptunia like. But the main things that made it feel like a Senran Kagura game was the combat, and it was actually a pretty good combat system, to be fair. It actually kind of makes me excited to try out the rest of the series and see what it's like, because I have been curious about the Senran Kagura series for a while now. The first game I think I wanted to try with them was Peach Beach Splash, because it had some interesting things I think in it too. And also I do have Estival Versus as well too. I might have a couple more others that I'm forgetting about, but they all look like really interesting games and games I knew that I would like. So as a first for the series, I think this is a good starting point, because this was like bridging the gap from Neptunia to Senran Kagura. So now I might actually get more become more of a fan of Senran Kagura due to this game. But yeah, pretty good game. Looking forward to Super Dimension when I do that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And then, oh yeah, we also did react to the State of Play this month. That was fairly early on. Ugh. I forgot if there's another game announcement that came out at some point. I think Xbox had theirs, but I didn't really care about Xboxes, to be fair. So I just didn't watch it. But I did watch the one for State of Play, because it was going on that day. If you want to see my reaction, there it is. But yeah, some of the stuff on there looked interesting. Most of the stuff is stuff that I'll probably just keep on my radar and possibly buy down the line. But It's not like I'm gonna buy every game that they are showcasing. At least I'm still definitely gonna be working on the Backloggery this month if I can, this year if I can help it. We played Splatoon not once, but twice this month because Pansy did want to play more of it, and while he had Nintendo Switch Online going on for it. So, and that it's Splatoon 3 is always a good time, dude. I really did enjoy this. Um, I think this was the day after. I think it was after the stream. I played a little bit of Side Order, and then I just ended up beating the mode that run that time. So that was fun. I'm going to miss the Splatoon streams. Yeah, they were fun times. There's definitely other games that we can play for our collab streams, but those are good ones to play at least too. And then this month we also started up Deltarune. We finished hold on a second. Hold on. What does that say? Chapter 2. I need to edit that too. I'll fix that in a second after I'm done talking about stuff. But I realize now that I it's because I saw number 2 on it. That's why I was just like, oh, this is obviously the thumb for it. It's my old thumb for chapter 2, not chapter 3. I need to update that. But yeah, I did end up beating chapter 3 this month. Deltarune is relatively short, at least with its chapters. So, but I mean, it's Undertale by itself is a pretty short game too. So the chapters I'm not expecting to be too long. Um, but it's still a really good game, and I'm at least glad it's one of the blue plays I can get done pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure the next one's only going to take about 2 streams too. So I'm curious to see where that comes out. GG. Yeah. Dude, this whole stream has just been very embarrassing for me. I am I am just so embarrassed to be in front of the camera right now, but we're working with it. It's fine. This is where I get to make a fool of myself on the internet. Isn't that what we all love to see? So yeah, I like this. I also forgot to during this section I like to talk about how the streams went and how they went. Um, Overall, I think I like this as a game from a streaming standpoint too. I thought there were some cool moments in some of these streams in the Neptunia streams. Um, I enjoy my reactions to most things that going on in the gaming culture. We did some cool stuff for Splatoon too, so I was glad to do that, and I was glad to at least definitely get my first reaction to Deltarune out there. So definitely, definitely glad I went through and did all that stuff. They all went and worked out pretty well. And then, oh yeah, we also played some. While we had Nintendo Switch Online, we played some more Mario Kart and Smash. And I think this is the stream because as you can see, it's about 4.5 hours long. This was the stream that we beat Pokemon Violet on, because I think we literally played it for like 3 hours. It was a great time. Yeah, because Panty kind of just checked out after a while at some point, and he was just like, "I'm just gonna watch you beat this game," and that's what we did. I had enough time to do it that day too, so it was for from a let's play standpoint, it was a kind of an interesting. It was like an interesting turnaround because it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, here's my playthrough of Pokemon Violet, and I'm beating the game today. Because I remember playing it at some point on stream, but I didn't. I know we didn't do a whole lot on it, but this was. It's funny just to think of the time skip of just like, okay, I played Pokemon Violet once on stream, and now we're beating it years later. It's like, okay. Oh yeah, then one of our other collab streams we did was the Monster Prom game as well too. This was fun. I did enjoy trying to do it as Jessica. I thought that was an interesting idea to play as a different character this time around. Plus, Monster Prom is just always fun to play. I always enjoy playing it. As you can see, just overall this week or this month, mainly a lot of collab streams. That's really all I really had time to do. was the collab streams and the Neptunia streams. I w- Thankfully I was able to at least get chapter 3 done this month. Next month is definitely is going to be dedicated around chapter 4. Uh, but hopefully this next month I can actually get around to playing some more games on stream and just getting through more things done because I have a lot of games I've been meaning to do on stream and I want to try to find time to do so. Tomorrow is going to be Neptunia. Wednesday's going to be collab, and then I know for sure we're going to be doing some more Deltarune Thursday. Um, I'll have to see. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if people are really doing things on the weekends much now, or if I have time to even do stuff because weekends are busy for me just because of work. I would like to try to get more gameplay stuff done if I on the weekends if I can help it, maybe. Um, but yeah, again, that's just if I can find time to. It's really just going to be how it's going to go. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on my schedule, keep an eye on what my friends want to do, and see if there's any time in between to just boot up the stream for about 2 hours and just go through something. That might be just what we have to do. We might just have to kind of pick and choose our times when we see it. It might be a little spontaneous, but we'll see. Because I really want to get more things done for the live stream, if I can help it. But yeah, it's not like I haven't not been doing stuff on the live streams this past month at least though. I have been doing a lot of stuff in the background, mainly the stuff on my Nintendo Switch too, and just a lot of other things in the background that I've been kind of just working on. Um, I've I do want to get more stuff done definitely for art though. I think I'm gonna try dedicating July to more art. I can't wait to see how our characters do with the Monster Prom games. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting series because I do want to see how it kind of evolves with the rest of the games and how they're and how or like what kind of scenarios we can get them into. So yeah, that'll be fun. And now for the last part segment of our stream, we're going to go to our shorts. And actually, did I make any shorts this month? I don't think I have. Yeah, because this last short I did, I think was from the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, yeah, on this one. I know we played more of it here, but this was that was a different stream. I don't think we've gotten any more shorts this month yet. But that is a-okay because I think we'll hopefully get a lot more content done this week to get some hopefully some more moments like that in. um but yeah, and I think that is going to do it. Actually, let me look over my list, see if there's any other talking points I want to get down before we end the stream for the day. Full webcam. Let's see. Because now there's things I usually like to talk to about on here. Yeah, I haven't. In terms of my personal projects, I haven't really done a lot of. I haven't really made a lot of new characters. I'm more so kind of focused now on just trying to get the people out there that I have done. Um, so you'll be hopefully be seeing technically new characters in the coming months since I'm going to be drawing a lot more character sheets for them. Because I want to show off as much as I have. Because I have so many ideas thought of, I just haven't shown them up to the world yet. I did mention before I was making the TCG. At some point this next month, I would like to try to actually flesh out and make a prototype build for it because I think I have the decent amount of the rules and such set and a couple of decks and card things built for it. I just need to actually build a thing for it so I can test it out. Maybe if I find some time during my drawing, because I'm going to be drawing a lot more stuff, maybe I can find a time to make the dummy card art for some of that at some point. Hopefully this month. Hopefully while I got my creative juices flowing. Oh yeah, and D&D. I don't. I mean, I still do D&D. That's another thing about some of the last couple things I've been doing this month that I don't usually show off on camera. is I do play D&D a lot with my friends and my dad. We have a little game running generally every Friday night. It's still sometimes hard to get them on board to do it every night, especially because I am working late some of those nights, and it is hard to get together to do those. But we did get a couple of sessions done this month, and it's progressing smoothly. Um, I still enjoy playing it. It's just it's such a hard game to get to people together to play and do, especially with the chaotic work schedules that we all have. But when we do get together to do it, it's a good time. Very good time. Um, I would like to be able to do more of it because I what we've been doing it with is we've been doing it in my world of Syria, so I've been actually kind of been able to put a couple of my worlds and characters into the game and just kind of show them off that way. At this point, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at them and I'm just seeing what sticks. So far, it's going out pretty well. So some stuff is sticking a lot more better to them than I thought it would. Well, other things that I thought were going to be important are falling a little bit flat. But that is the how things go. So it's all good though. It's all good. We should also find some time to do D&D at some point. Yeah, like you mean like our own little campaign? That could be interesting. Like I always thought single player D&D was an interesting idea. Or we could probably find more people to try to join us, but again, it would be hard to coordinate that kind of group together. But even just single player D&D I thought was a cool idea because it's like, okay, you are going off into this world alone and you are just making it on your own. To be fair, it could be like a survival campaign if we wanted to do something like that, but that's something we could definitely at least talk about. Uh, I definitely wouldn't mind just running a single player campaign or even having you run a run too, because I have been the DM for my group for so long that I am kind of hungry to try out the character portion of it as well. But it's whatever. If I want to be a character, I can always play a Baldur's Gate, which kind of helps suffice that a little bit. Uh, but it's a good excuse to give my flex my creative juices every now and then. Um, I've been also kind of working on things in the background a little bit for Syria, just in general. I've fleshed out the lore a little bit. Um, Kind of thought of things a little bit more in depth. I've also been making progress with Albadora. Uh, I think I'm from what I've thought of the lore for it. I think it's at a good spot where I can kind of really start unveiling stuff about it. That's some of the stuff for, especially because I'm going to be doing more art this month. I'm hoping that I can actually start making some concept art and posting stuff about Albador because I really love the idea of this world and I want to show it off, dude. It's actually a very exciting for me. I wouldn't mind trying being a dungeon master. Yeah, I think it could be a fun little experience even that way too. We could even just hand it off every now and then and just be like, okay, this session you DM, this session I DM, stuff like that. You know, we can always do something like that. But yeah, Albador is coming out pretty well. Um, I'm really looking forward to actually like showing off what things are like in that world. It's the same world that Zuka comes from, so it's a lot of interesting stuff I've poured into that. A lot of the stuff that I've kind of built around it is actually let me see if I can share a little insight about this because I did put a what's it called, a little summary about what it's all about. Okay, that's a lot of words. I'm gonna see if I can skim and give you the cliff notes of what I wrote here. So basically, the whole thing of Albador is a world of pure white. I kind of wanted it to be the whole main idea of what I wanted Albador to be is I wanted to be a big reference to art and how things are like made in an artistic form or but like very very simplistic. So the whole world is like this big white void, and things kind of started coming into creation on it based on uh, from like these like really thick like lines and ink strokes that go across everything, you know. So it's like how you would draw on a piece of paper and your drawings kind of like, you know, basically come to life. That's like what the world is. It's like a world where it kind of came to life because the artists known as the gods kind of drew it all in and made it what it was. And then the whole thing about what Zucker is, I have a term for her. Is she's an ink weaver, and their whole thing is what they do is they kind of paint the world in their color and kind of make things in their image, and fight against these groups that are trying to bring the world back to this white void called the erasers. And so these erasers are basically just trying to put the world back into its normal, to its void-like state, while they're trying to. They're basically the form of creation fighting back against it. I thought that was a neat idea, so I kind of was rolling around with that for a while. I wanted that to be like the core aspect of it was the constant struggle between the creative, the creative people with their that like control color, fighting it back against the eraser. It's because it's kind of like how art is. Art is like constant battle of drawing and putting things on paper, erasing mistakes that were there, and making basically a masterpiece out of it. You know. Um, so yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff I have in here though. Um, I have been slowly working on the lore of it. I originally named the world Prismoria, but I decided that it was a better to call that. It was better to make that the main city inside of it instead. Um, so Prismoria is kind of actually technically the epicenter of all of these people with these colored ink hairs, where they all kind of join together and just make just like a big mismatch of everything. And yeah, it's kind of like a whole big rainbowy kind of thing going on in there. I don't know if I'm explaining this stuff right or if this is interesting to you guys at all, but I just wanted to show it off and talk about it for a while because this is something I've been doing for a while, and I want to like show off and talk about it in some capacity because I have a lot of cool ideas in this. I have a story also I want to make around it at some point with Zuka heading it, obviously. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to do for this in the coming months. I'm not sure if I'll do something how I kind of did with Syria, where I might make just like a lore book and just kind of add pages to it as I see fit, or if I might just put it into concept art. Uh, we'll have to see how that kind of goes. But for the moment, it's very much in its very early stages. Um, I'm feeling confident about putting it into the world as like a thing to exist because I like a lot of the ideas I'm having for it so far, and I think that they could make some very interesting stories just by it itself. So that's kind of why I'm just like, get it out there in some way, dude. I like how it sounds so far. I can't wait for it to be more developed. Might make some characters specifically for that world. Yeah, I really like the idea of it because the whole thing about it is it's like you see like how Zuka is on my thumbnails. Actually, I can show him off here since I'm still on this page here. You can see how like Zuka is on the thumbnails for all these. This is basically how everyone in the world looks. Everyone's like, you know, they have these just this regular white outline or these white skin and the black outlines to them. So they're very much like basic and cartoony looking. And the main colors come from the hair, which is all like powered by like this magical ink that comes from their beings. And yeah, the reason Shield also too has color clothes is because they've developed the clothes in those fashions as well too. So we got all of that going on, and it's going to be a fun little thing, I think. There's a lot of weird stuff that I'm kind of putting into it, like the fact that because the whole world is a white void, it doesn't have a day night cycle. So in order to keep time, they kind of just have kept a check on their circadian rhythm and have eventually just made time as it was today. Then also I've just developed a couple of different types of rules on how kind of things work, just in the background too. Um, Things that I thought that would be interesting to. I'm trying to think of like good examples, so I don't feel like I'm just spouting gibberish and nonsense. But like, yeah, I've been trying to think about how the ink like works with the world, or how like even would work with water. Can it be washed off? Weird questions like that. Because the whole idea of it is that all these people are powered by these ink powered weapons, and they're basically fighting back against these creatures of destruction. And that's what I kind of wanted the whole world to be about. It was just a constant battle of creation versus destruction. So I thought that would. I've kind of been doing like a little bit of, and I would say kind of like self role play aspects in it, to kind of test out things and see how well they work, or what things I can add to it. Um, so far, it's been pretty insightful. So we'll get there eventually. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. All right. But my throat is sore. I am gonna wrap things up before my voice runs dry. Uh, you can probably hear it from my talking. So we're gonna wrap things up here today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's stream, and hearing me ramble about a bunch of different stuff today. Hopefully, the next wrap up stream is going to be a little bit more lively, because I'm going to be doing a lot more drawing and a lot more anime watching and a lot more games, and hopefully be able to talk about a lot more cool stuff. So, yay. Excuse me. If you liked it, please like it, subscribe, and follow if you should see more, and more gaming and or art content coming to you soon, hopefully in the near future. Tomorrow we're going to be doing more Neptunia. Probably going to set it for about 8 o'clock or so, whenever I get dinner done. 8 probably, hopefully the latest, if depending on what we do for dinner, but I'm going to see what we can do. Most of the day tomorrow I'm going to spend trying to get caught up on art, and maybe even getting caught up on anime that I haven't done recently too. uh, it's gonna be definitely like a catch up day, I think, for me. So it'll be fun, and we'll play a little bit of Neptunia at the end. So yeah. All right. Have a good day, and everyone wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. But bye now.